Grace and peace and spoiler alert. My name's Ryan, I'm the movie pastor. I watch movies and I think theologically about them, looking at them as a text and deconstructing them to talk about what they say and what they mean. Today I watched Last Christmas, my first explicitly theological movie, right? Because there's Christ right there in the title. And man, it really was. It reminded me of the plot of some really bad Christian movies that I've seen. It had the basic plot of a Christian rom-com. You had a transparently evil person and a transparently good person, and they were interacting. In this film, it starts off in an explicitly theological way. They're in a church, and our main character is singing. And then the next scene, she's involved in a one-night stand that doesn't go well for her. The scene after that, someone is asking her about Jesus, and she takes the Lord's name in vain. So we're very clearly, we know what we're talking about here. So often in Christmas movies, we're willing to talk about elves and dwarves and Santa. We're not willing to talk about Jesus. Not so in Last Christmas. We're talking about Jesus. And this person, our main character, Kate, or Katerina, is not a part of that life. She's doing something else. And actually, for much of the movie, the signs and symbols that you see around, it's pretty clear that she is dying. She's missing doctor's appointments. She's disconnected from her family. She's failing and floundering at life. And there are significant signs that something is seriously the matter with her heart. How transparent can you get? She's perishing. She's got the opposite of eternal life. She's got eternal death. And that's her life. That's what she's about. Then she meets this guy who seems perfect. He's got just a wonderful attitude all the time. He's so very alive in everything he does. He's dancing around, and he's always telling her to look up. And he saves her as a result of relationship with this guy, Tom. She finds herself repenting. She apologizes to all her friends that she's wronged, and she gets a new zeal for life. She's helping the homeless. She's connecting with various ways to help and with social justice, and she is happy. And then it is revealed, twist ending, he died for her. The fact that he is dead enables her to live because his heart has been taken out of him and put into her. Do I need to untangle any of this for you? Is there more explanation that would make this a more transparent or obvious Jesus symbolism here? Everything that is wrong with us, that causes us to be dying, that causes us to be sinful, that causes us not to have eternal life, Jesus takes unto him, and he gives us a new heart, a heart of flesh rather than a heart of stone. It is just, you could do a Bible study on it if it weren't for some of the penis jokes and things that show up in the film. I will mention one thing. There's one other comment that I had, which is, in a lot of ways, I like the portrayal. I think the portrayal of the Christ type, of the Christ analog in this movie is actually a lot more biblical and a lot more theologically sound than some of the Christ analogs in some explicitly Christian movies that are a little bit misrepresented. Here we're talking about life, and we're talking about life here and now. We're not talking about some religious thing that happens after I die, and I think that's really honest and really true, and it is more correct. It's actually better theology, more biblical theology than the movies that are actually talking about Jesus by name, in terms of becoming a Christian and those sorts of things. But this whole movie is a pun, right? This whole movie is an adaptation of a Wham song, Last Christmas. And its reading of the song Last Christmas, I mean, the opening scene says, based on a song by George Michael, is terrible. It has nothing to do with the song by George Michael, apart from the one line, "Last Christmas I gave you my heart," and it's like takes that and takes it overly literal, and then ignores the rest of the song. So it does to George Michael what I find a lot of biblical literalists and theological fundamentalists are doing to the Bible. It's like, I'm in favor of you taking the Bible, like all of it, literally, and doing it, but that's not what "gave you my heart" means. And you broke it, and you're telling me did it wrong. And so, kind of weird. They misattributed and misrepresented George Michael, and accidentally, apparently, correctly attributed biblical theology. What do you think? I hope that you're enjoying these reflections. I hope that you'll like and comment and subscribe. One of the best things you can do is actually share. If you can share these videos and we can talk about them together, that would be wonderful. So, see you next time.
And when in scenes of glory I sing the new song, 'twill be